Welcome, everyone, to day 6 of the Herbally-Inspired Holiday Challenge. My name is Allison, and I don't think I said this much, but the name of my business, my sort of herbal lifestyle business, is called The Well Cultivated Life. And so the reason why I started doing this herbal challenge is because it living an herbally inspired life has made a huge difference to me. And one of the important things I want to say about this is that, we've started this 21-day journey together, but we don't really have a final destination. It's not like, oh, we're going to take 21 days and then that's it. I mean, the whole point is to inspire you to create, like I said earlier, an herbally inspired life, not just to do things just for the holiday and then set it down again. So the goal is that you'll start to realize that a lot of these are things that I'm teaching you are super simple, and they're easy to just sort of incorporate into your daily life and your daily routine. I was really lucky to grow up in a household where my parents knew how important it was to get us outside, we went camping all the time, and we grew a huge garden and so on. So, but you don't have to have that background to be able to begin at any point in your life to start to just bring more plants and more herbs into your life. We're just trying to be more in a relationship with plants. Now, our plant of the day today is raspberry. And you might be thinking, raspberry is a food. It's not an herb, but there is an herbal use to raspberry. Now, of course, we're all pretty much familiar. I mean, you kind of had to be completely out of the loop if you have not heard about how important raspberry and blueberries and other types of berries are with regard to their sort of antioxidant properties. They contain these types of compounds called flavonoids, which just kind of protects our body from toxins that come in and just kind of generally keep our cells protected and in better shape. So there's a lot of foods that have flavonoids in them, but berries are one of the ones where it's highly concentrated. So today, what we're going to be doing is talking about raspberry. Now, I want to talk about the raspberry leaf. The raspberry leaf is is the medicinal part of the plant that we use. And this is a raspberry just in my own garden. I have kind of a random patch of raspberries, and raspberries, they kind of grow a little out of control. So every year I cut off the ones I don't want, and then I save the leaf itself. So one of the distinctive things, and we're not really getting into ID here because it's not that time of year, but if you notice the back side of it is this light color, and that's a way to tell that it's raspberry and not some other type of berry like a blackberry. And so the leaves are made into a tea, and what they're most useful for is for kind of toning different types of muscle systems in our body, in particular the uterus and the intestines. So this raspberry tea is used as a tonic during pregnancy, post-pregnancy, and so on. And it's a tonic, which means it's not something that you use in an acute situation. So I don't get sick and then have raspberry. It's something that I would have on a regular basis. It's also somewhat nutritious. So there's mineral content in the leaves as well. It's not exclusive for men, but a lot of the main properties that it works for are, like I said, for the uterus, for your whole toning, your whole sort of reproductive system, and also the intestines, which of course men and women both have. So if you need some toning, raspberry is a good one for you. And so, of course, we're all more familiar with the raspberries. I don't know, do people go and pick their own raspberries during the summer? Because if you do, then I recommend that next time, take a little bag on the side, pluck a leaf or two off of each plant as you go down, and then you'll have some raspberry leaf that you can dry and use that for a tea, just for general toning. It's mildly astringent, so that's part of the reason why it helps with just sort of keeping things cleansed, especially in the intestines. So today we're going to talk about creating cordials. And a cordial is like a sweetened alcohol. You're probably all familiar with, like an aperitif, an after dinner drink. And a lot of times these were originally, had a healthful benefit to them. And so today what I want to show you is how you can super easy and really quick just make a cordial from some berries. So what I've done today is where I live in New Hampshire is next to Maine, which is one of the biggest areas in our country that grows the wild blueberry. So I just go to the grocery store and I get the wild blueberry package like this. And for this tonight, what I did was I actually grabbed some of this mixed berry, frozen berries, right? Easy to do. And I have put them into this container. So I've just put a mixture of berries. You could put just one type of berry if you want. I could have just put the raspberries, but I had the mixture, so I figured I would just go with it. And then you simply just take the alcohol of choice and you pour that over the top. Now, some people like to use vodka. This is I don't know what it is. I don't really like vodka. I'm actually going to use that to make some vanilla extract. But you literally just, I probably should have opened this ahead of time. You literally just take the alcohol and you pour it over the top. These I've had out of the freezer for a while, but they're still a little bit frozen. And if you gather your own raspberries or you do a lot of your own or grow your own, you can either start a cordial or an extract fresh. And there it is. And now part of the reason you can start it fresh, or you could just freeze berries that you cook, or where I live, the strawberry season is about maximum 3 weeks long. So I'm constantly picking as many as I can and then putting them in the freezer from them. So there it is. So you're going to let that sit, and you can see it's already starting to get a little bit of a color to it. Now, part of the reason why I picked berries like this for now is because, we don't have that much time before you might want to be giving these away as a gift and you want to get them ready. So once again, what you're going to do is you're just going to put a lid on, and you will simply just shake it as much as you can. Put it in a place. Yeah, look at that. It's already turning red. Put it in a place that you're going to walk by regularly. And, Melissa says she just had some homemade blueberry vodka. There you go. And you're just going to stir it, and then multiple times a day, and then it'll be ready. Now, the difference between just a regular alcohol, like a brandy, whatever, blueberry brandy or raspberry brandy, versus a cordial is that the cordial has got some sort of sweetener added to it. And so you can choose to do that a bunch of different ways. You can either add the sweetener like now with the plant or the berry or whatever you're extracting, or you can just let it extract on its own and then add that in after you strain it out. So normally it's somewhere like 4 to 6 weeks for doing any kind of alcohol extract. However, at this point, if we're just doing it mostly for the flavor and some of the benefits, the berries should extract faster than that. So what I like to do is add the sweetener afterwards because I want to try it and see how it came out first. So in this case, I generally use either honey, or because I'm in New England, I have good access to maple syrup. So a lot of times I'll use maple syrup for a sweetener as well. And so I'll strain out what I'm extracting, and then I will go ahead and taste it, and then I'll add to taste whatever I'm going to sweeten with. Now, sometimes I just leave it as an extract, and I don't even sweeten it until right before I drink it. And then I'll just maybe add a drop or two of maple syrup or honey or something to my glass when I'm getting ready to drink it. But if you're going to be giving it away as a gift, then obviously you want to sweeten it before you do that. And so that is pretty much the whole thing. What I wanted to share with you now is um, just some other ideas for what you can make a cordial out of. So the first one is, this is some black cherry. And when I say black cherry, I don't mean like the cherries that you get in the grocery store. This is a black cherry that I wild harvested. It's a teeny tiny little cherry. It's mostly pit and with a little bit of the cherry flesh around it. And you know, when you go and you get like a black cherry flavored soda or something like this is where that comes from. Not like the regular, commercial cherries. And it has a lot of beneficial health properties. Black cherry is known for kind of like helping with respiratory and respiratory issues. Another great idea is hawthorn berries. And I've got some dried hawthorn berries here. They don't look very exciting in a dried state like that, but they you can get those at any sort of herbal apothecary. And so the hawthorn is also really well known for helping with like heart, as a heart tonic. And so I remember reading one time that it's hawthorn cordial is used in England at like a elderly homes where people are living, and that every night after dinner, everyone gets their little hawthorn berry cordial to help keep their heart strong on into the later part of their life. Now, these are just some plain berries, but you can also add different kinds of herbs to it. And the different ones that I've used before is, I really like making a peach cordial. And so I have made a peach with fennel and calendula, and that came out really, really good. And then I've also made elderberry with thyme and yarrow. So those are a little bit more medicinal, but you can experiment around with different types of herbs to add in as well, and depending on what you like. So you might want to just get some little teeny jars like this and make a bunch of different combinations and see what you like the best. And last, I want to share with you this. There is an herbalist named Kiva Rose Harden, and she's like one of these awesome, like really connected to the earth, grounded type of herbalist. She does a lot of community herbalism and so on. And she lives she's either in Arizona or New Mexico. And she has a recipe. It's called Kiva's Ultimate Elder Mother Elixir. And I have made this once in the past. It was really, really good. So she uses, and you know what? I'll put a link to her blog post where she has the recipe, but it has elderberries plus elder flowers, rose hips, fresh ginger or wild ginger, orange peel, osha, a pinch, always just a pinch of osha because it's pretty intense, and wild licorice or commercial licorice. And then she adds the honey in initially and then pours brandy over the top of that. So there's another great, and that's more so as a medicinal type of a cordial. But by having both the alcohol and the honey, you're extracting a lot of the extra properties. All right. So that's what I want to show you today. But I just realized I never talked to you about our card of the day, which is I never showed you the card. So this is a beautiful card from the Herbcrafter's Tarot. And it shows a picture of raspberry being harvested, and there's 3 huge baskets of it. And so the message from raspberry today is that it's nourishing and there's a lot, which means that it takes a lot of people to actually harvest and put those all together. It's way better to can and preserve your raspberry jam with a friend than it is to do it on your own. So what this card is telling us is that, make sure that you are doing things in community with other people. Raspberry is like nourishing and delicious, and it just has so many great things about it. So I hope you have some people that you are able to share your herbally inspired journey with. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these on the short side because there's going to be a bunch of them. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.